Hello there, and welcome back to Building the Boys. It's time for our weekly catch-up. There's been a lot going on, hell of a lot. In the world of models, not so much. It's quiet week at the moment. This tends to happen because I'm a monthly subscriber to my things. I get quiet week, and this is quiet week. Nothing's due to arrive this week. Everything that has turned up, we've kind of built already, with the exception of the Disney Dolls house. Now, all of my Disney Dolls house are going up this weekend, so I've got like 10, I think, or 12 videos are all going up this weekend, so I've just got to get through the editing. It's all built, and the difference in the house is massive, but just got to get the editing done. I delayed because I had a piece missing. I was waiting for the replacement issue to turn up to do that, so all of those will be going up on like a full blast. You're going to get an absolute assault of Disney this weekend. It's going to be like Mickey Mouse is slapping you around the face. But it's a good one, and then it's done. The other, I've got to address this because I've had 5 messages, and it's cute, but I will address it. I'm fine. I've had a couple of messages and people ask me, "You all right, Scott?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm all right. I appreciate I look a bit tired, and I appreciate there has been as much stuff on the channel of recent as that there has been the past few months. I'm really tired. I genuinely am really tired. I do feel like crap, but that's part of the tired. But I'm fine, honestly. So I'm sorry if it's come across as It's just the intro working. So this time of the year is always the same. I mean, you go back and watch videos from this time last year, same thing. I've got the same thing going on. It's been absolutely manic. So it's a full schedule, man. That's all it is. But it's coming to an end. So it's all worked out fine. Touch wood. It's all coming to an end next month, and then we'll go back to normal. And I've got a week off. So I've got a week off at Easter, which is going to be lovely. Speaking of which, I did mention the last one. About live streams, and if we'll be doing another one, we'll be doing another one. We're doing it Easter, so we're gonna have a live stream, and I'm just trying to figure out when's the best day to do that. I'm thinking the night of Easter Sunday. I think that'd be fun. If not, it would be like it'd be Easter weekend. Put it that way. It will be a wooden build, and it will be a one and done. So it's something we can just do in one sitting. I've not fully decided on which one that's going to be yet. I've seen a couple where I'm like, I think that's a good one. I wanted something themed to Easter, but you're limited because, it's a rabbit or nothing. I did find one. I found a rabbit and I thought, that'd be cool. But it's way too complicated for a kind of one night build. I thought, no, it's too much. So I'm not that bothered about theming it to Easter, to be honest with you. I just want something that we can all build together and it can be fun. So as soon as I've got more details, and at the moment I've got more details, I'll let you know. So if you want to take part, you can go and build one. You can buy one to build along with us. But you don't have to do that. You can just live vicariously through us and watch us build it. So that's what we will be doing. But there will be one of those coming up, and it will happen at Easter. Because I really enjoyed the one we did at New Year's, and I think a lot of people who took part enjoyed it as well. So I think it's high time we did another one. I really do. Today's a funny day. Today is actually the, let me think, 1, 2, 3. It is. Today is the 4-year anniversary. The 4-year anniversary of when part 1 of Ecto 1 turned up on our doorstep. 4 years ago. Today. Mad, right? And I haven't finished mine. I've got the parts to literally do the last 2 parts. I'm being a wuss about it. I'll explain why I'm being a wuss about it when I finally get round to doing it, but that's going to be sooner rather than later again. I've got some time off coming up, and it's something that needs to be done as part of the time off, and that'll be taken off. But yes, 4 years since that one started, which is madness, absolute madness. And it was really weird watching, because it came up on my newsfeed and looking back at it and seeing how young Oscar was, because Oscar was 9 when we started building it, and he's nearly 14 now, which is mad, but he'll be 14 in a few months' time. He was 9 years old, and I've got the pictures of when he first built it, and he was in different school, and it was before the pandemic. It was weird. It was weird times, man, weird times. The pandemic hadn't fully kicked in yet. There were rumblings of it all over the world, but we hadn't had the stay-at-home thing yet. We were nowhere near that at this stage, but it was coming. So it was so strange. It predates the pandemic, the Ecto one, which is mad. And that's why I have this kind of weird sort of love hate thing with Fan Home. I hate what happened. I hate the way they handled it, and I hate that part of it. But on the love side of it, and I will still maintain this. What's right is right, and to say this is right. Throughout the pandemic, they were a blessing. They delivered like clockwork, and then they even delivered to me earlier. So I got mine fortnightly rather than monthly. They had the stock there. I'm like, if you want fortnightly, come fortnightly. So mine was absolutely thundering through, and they kept us sane during the pandemic. Every time things got a little bit crazy, we'd retire to our little build room. Those who've been watching the channel long enough remember the old build room. We'd retire to there. I'd take one of the kids where they were arguing and whatnot. I'm like, let's go build some Ecto. And we go and sit down, we build some Ecto 1. And also in that time, Roka models, we built more Roka models in that time than any other time. They just kept coming because we couldn't go anywhere, we couldn't do anything. So we just kept building Roka models. We built loads of them, man. And that's stuck. That's stuck ever since. And beautiful things they are, man. Beautiful things they are. Tomorrow is February the 29th. It's leap year. So these are a rarity. You don't get them very often. And traditionally, tomorrow is the day where women are able to propose to men. Now, they can do it whenever because times have changed. But where that comes from is in the 1800s, certainly was not seen as acceptable for a woman to propose to a man. It just wasn't. But women were complaining about this. It was a Catholic thing. Women were complaining about this, saying, well, he's never going to get around to doing it, so I should at least be able to do it. So the agreement was, you can do it on February 29th, right? It's a very male thing. It's like, what's the day we could do? It's like, yeah, that day only comes, I want to do 5 years. Let's do that one. So that's what happened. February the 29th was the day they declared that it was okay for women to propose to men. It was viewed as this is fine. This is normal. That's what it was viewed as. That it wasn't some desperate spinster or something. This is normal. So February the 29th. That then spread to Scotland and Wales and England. And everyone sort of encompassed it. It was decided that the 29th of February was the day it would be perfectly socially acceptable for women to get down on one knee and propose to men. It was then also decided that, again, this is strange but true, that should a woman propose to you and you decline her offer, it is only right that you buy her several pairs of fine gloves. That's what was decided. So should you decline that offer, you should buy her several pairs of fine gloves. It's like, well, come on now, fellas, look. If you've got a special lady in your life, or ladies, if you're watching, you've got a special man in your life, and tomorrow's proposal day, well, fellas, I'll say this. If someone has taken the time and the courage and decided that they want to propose to you, well, from Bill and the boys, I'm saying, do the right thing. And this will help you do the right thing. There you go. That's 10 pairs of gloves. That definitely is several pairs. And if you're thinking, hold on, Scott, these are fine gloves. They are fine. If they start saying these aren't fine gloves, no, they are. Look at the lettering. See, fine knit gloves. That's fine. Those are several fine gloves. Scotty's got you. So if you get a proposal tomorrow, £6. That's all it takes to get out of it. Just say, nope, here's your several fine gloves. Scotty's got your back. But that's what that is. So that is the tradition. So if you don't want to get hitched, I got you, man. That's where you get your several pairs of fine gloves. Oh dear. News. So this is, I think it's relevant. It's pop culture. Today, the first look happened of The Crow. So June the 4th of this year, a remake of 1993's The Crow, which Brandon Lee, Tragic's last film role, he died on set. They're remaking it, starring Bill Skarsgård, who was Pennywise. But they've released the first looks at it, and I've got to be honest with you, I don't hate it. This is it. Yeah, I mean, people have lost their minds over this. It is one of those films that it has a massive cult following, and certainly in the kind of goth subculture, it's a massive deal. My kid went as the Crow for Halloween a couple of years ago. He's hooked on it. It just gets people. I think what happened with Brandon Lee on set, I think adds the mythos of that film as well, because it's about a character that comes back from the dead and he dies whilst making it. But to be honest with you, I mean, they made 2 sequels to it. They were bloody terrible, but there were 2 sequels to The Crow. There was, I want to say it was called Day of the Dead or City of Angels. I can't remember. It was bad. One was set in New Orleans and they weren't good. I watched both of them and neither of them were good. One had Edward Furlong in it. It wasn't Stairway to Heaven. One of them was called The Crow Stairway to Heaven. And one of them was, I want to say it was City of Angels or something like that. They weren't good, put it that way. Will this be any good? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of remakes. That said, there are certain films that I think need a remake. There's the saying that you don't remake the classics. And I agree with that. Don't remake the classics. If it's a classic, don't bother remaking it. If they didn't quite get it right the first time, go for it. Right? That's my thing, because you don't need to remake Wizard of Oz. It's fine as it is, right? Leave it alone. That's it. It's beloved. Leave it alone. Back to the Future is another one. There is no reason to remake Back to the Future, none at all, because you're not going to better it, right? So leave it alone. Gremlins is another one. And when they say, oh yeah, but with CGI, forget your CGI. What makes Gremlins as good as it is how quaint it is. Leave it alone. Lost Boys is another one. You've got the perfect cast. Leave it alone. However, if you take a film that wasn't great to begin with, and good examples of this are like The Fly. So the Fly that David Cronenberg made with Jeff Goldblum in it is a remake. It's a remake of a 1950s horror movie called The Fly, which ain't great. Here's fantastic. It's a remake. The Thing is one of my favorite films of all time. It's a remake of The Thing from Another Planet, and the original's not great. The original isn't great. The remake's fantastic. So if Ocean's 11 is another good example. The original Ocean's 11 is bloody terrible. You'll hear people go, oh no, it's great. And that's because they like the cast, because they had like Dean Martin and Sammy Davis and Frank Sinatra in it. They like them, therefore they say it's a terrible bloody film. It's really bad, but the remake's really good. So I think you shouldn't just blindly remake everything. You shouldn't. But there are some things I think can get away with it. And I think The Crow is one of them, to be honest with you. The Crow... For me, I like The Crow, don't get me wrong, and I know I'm going to piss someone off by saying this, but I do think it is very much style over substance. The story is pretty flimsy to The Crow, it is. It's style over substance, so it'd be nice to see them do style and substance. So who knows, it might be good. I mean, I'll check it out, but who knows. The one film I would love to see them remake, and it's never going to happen, and the reason why is because I think it would be incredibly poignant in this day and age, is The Running Man. Genuinely, I think if you haven't seen the 1987 Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think, bizarrely, it predicted a lot of what happened. It's set in a world where there was an economic collapse. That happened. It's set in a world where false information is fed to the masses. That happened. Deep fakes are a big part of it. So showing you film footage that you think is real and it isn't. It's modified footage, a massive part of it. But the most important thing is it's literally trial by media. It's where they punish someone on television for entertainment, and they destroy their life for entertainment. And that is the world we live in at the moment. So I think if you remade it now, you can make it all the more poignant, you know? And I don't think if you remade it now, I wouldn't choose convicts that end up on the game show. I would choose people that have been cancelled are put on the game show. And I think it would be interesting. I think it would be a hell of a thing. They are doing The Running Man, but it's not going to be the remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. The book is wildly different. And funnily enough, that book, The Running Man, was written by Stephen King using a pseudonym, Richard Bachman. And that is what got me into Stephen King. I bought a second-hand book called The Bachman Books, purely because I wanted to read the book version of The Running Man. So the movie got me onto the book. I read the book. It was wildly different, and it is wildly different. I mean, there are elements that are the same. The game show called The Running Man is the same. The Stalkers is the same. The name Ben Richards and Killian are the same. But beyond that, wildly different. And there were 4 stories in the Batman books, and there was one in there that I read and fell in love with, and I was only about 13 years old at the time, 12 years old, 13 years old, and it was called Rage, which has subsequently been banned because of the content of what is inside it. It's not been banned. Stephen King chose to have it withdrawn from publication. So there's no legally you can own it, but he chose to withdraw it from publication because of incidents it was linked to. I'm not going to say what incidents it was linked to because someone might think, good, I'm keep my answer on that one, but I loved it. I could relate to it, and I loved it. It was really good. But that's what got me in Stephen King. So I've got a strange conflicting thing with the Running Man, because as much as I love the Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man, it's not Stephen King. It's not the Stephen King book. It isn't. I'd like to see a remake of that one, but I would also like to see a film version of the book, which is what we're getting. So Edgar Wright, who did Shaun of the Dead, and he did Last Night in Soho. He also did Scott Pilgrim. He is doing a faithful book adaptation of The Running Man. It's going to be interesting to see. It is. So we'll see. But you're not going to get, Sub-Zero and Dynamo and Buzzsaw. You won't be getting any of those. But I want those. I'd like to see that in a remake. I really would. Model-wise, what have we got coming up? Loads, because I've got my backlog. So I am going through the backlog. We have done the mystery build this week. I won't say what it is in case you haven't watched the mystery build video yet, but there is a mystery build up. So mystery build number 3 is up. Mystery build number 4 is coming very soon. I am building the book nook this weekend as well. So I've got 2 book nooks to build. So one of those is getting built this weekend. I think it's time to say goodbye to Ecto 1. So I think I'm going to try and do Ecto 1 this weekend, because I think it's time. I've got a load of editing to do, so there'll be loads of videos up anyway. I've got loads of videos ready to go. I've just got to finish the editing of them, and time is not on my side at the moment. It really isn't. Speaking of which, I'm normally very good at getting back to all of you, be it on comments or be it on email, and I appreciate my response time is shocking at the moment. It's delayed, but again, I'm sorry. Time's just not there at the moment. It's just not. So if I grab 5 minutes, it's doing something with the kids or my wife or something. I don't have the time to go in. So I'm sorry for that, but I will. As I said, if you message me, I will get back to you. But if you're expecting a reply in like one day, it's not going to happen at the moment. But we'll get back there. We'll be all right. Everything's gonna balance out soon. It's a temporary pain for long-term gain. So we do have another model coming from our friends over at Roker, have sent us a model, which is coming up soon. And I've got 2 from JM Bricklayer coming up as well. Both of them are very unique. I've never built anything like what they're sending me. So I've got one here already. So one's here, but that won't be good up until March. There's another one coming, and I'm like, I've got to see this. And when they showed me the picture, I was like, that's crazy. So it's gonna be very interesting. There's some nice ones coming, man. There really is. But we've got this loads coming up. Loads, always is. And then I think I'm right in saying this. I think next week there's more Gauntlet arriving, but that won't be on the channel yet until Nanogate is sorted. We also have Titanic will be next week, I think. I'm pretty sure next week is Titanic. 100% sure. Yeah. Next week's Titanic. The week after that's going to be Tumblr. So all just the cycle begins again. So off we go again, and then it all starts turning up again. I've seen as well, I saw a video out that people have started getting hands-on the Warcraft part work. If you haven't seen that, it was this one. So that trial's very much live at the moment, because I've seen videos of people building that. But it is a trial. It's not a full run, it's a trial. Along with the 89 Batmobile. Now, that was the other one I got a lot of messages about. I'm sorry. I just don't like it. I have wanted that one for so long. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you would have heard me mention the 89 multiple times. It was when I did my sort of breakdown of what my dream builds would be. I think it was number 2. I've wanted to build that so badly. Will I be building that one? No. Unless massive changes happen to it, no, I won't, because it's just excusing too much. And I know I know it pissed some people off when I pointed these things out, But there were other people that agreed, and they were like, no, I completely agree with you. That thing looks weird. The bonnet's weird. It's that. It's too much money for me to go, I'll just excuse all this. It's too much. For me, it looks more like a very good cosplay. Like, if you've ever seen a really good cosplay, but you look at it, the cowl's wrong, it's like that. And this isn't me nitpicking. This isn't me going, oh, it should be a different colour black to that. It's not that. It looks weird. It hits the eye wrong. There's something odd about it. And I saw, it was Chris Collection has built one. And I saw he did the same thing. He looked at the dimensions. And like he pointed out, okay, well, that should actually be longer. He pointed out the bonnet should be longer based on the dimensions and what size it's supposed to be to. It should be longer than it is, which is why it's this kind of weird stubby. I don't like it. I just don't. And I'd hate it if it was on my shelf. I'd walk in and go, and it would bother the hell out of me. So sadly, it's crazy that I'm saying this, that an 89 is available, but I won't be building it unless they repair some of that just mess that they've made of it. It sucks because I would love to build that, but I think if you build that, you're not building the 89 Batmobile. You're building what looks like almost a knockoff of the 89 Batmobile, and that's the way it is. That's just the... And I know that these things aren't always accurate. You're always going to get things you're going to go like, okay, well, the colour's off on that one. If this is more than that. This isn't like the colour's off, or that switch should be blue and it's red, or, well, that window opened and this window doesn't, or that one should be red. There's more than that. It's the wheels are wrong, the body's wrong, the curvature's wrong, the arc is wrong, the wings are wrong, the back is wrong, the everything is bloody wrong, right? It's the wrong. It's too stubby, it's too fat, everything about it is wrong. And that's just the way it is, I'm afraid. But it is, and I can't stress this enough, that what you're seeing at the moment is a prototype. So it would be like a resin-built prototype that you see in those images. It's not the actual model. So maybe it'll all get fixed. It's going to be a year until we see that thing anyway, maybe. I hope it is, because if it's a year, they've got time to sort of put it right. But I mean, even them themselves, I've had a couple of messages where people have messaged them, and they'd said... they're aware that it's not right, but it's the closest we could get to it. And I'm like, not good enough. Not good enough. Not like, yes, we know it's not right, but this is nearly right. And I'm like, no. So we'll see. We'll see what happens from it. But I don't know. It breaks my heart to say it, but no, I'd kick my own ass. I just would. I say that. I mean, I might just cave and think I'd rather have that than nothing. But I hope I don't. I hope I stand strong. But we'll see, won't we? I mean, again, if they can sort all those things out, brilliant. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Because again, as I said, can't stress it enough. That is just a resin model. That's not the finished kit. It's not the kit you're going to... So who knows? Maybe they fix that. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? It's whether or not we have to blindly gamble that they fixed it. Do you get what I mean? We've got to go, okay, I'll trust you that you fixed it. And then we get to like stage 75 of a 120 part build and go, oh, you lied to me, you know. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm sorry. It's what I've been watching. Documentaries. I've been watching some freaky, horrible documentaries. It was horrible. I watched. Can I tell you a secret? That was. It was all right. There's a very weird voice that kind of spoiled a lot of the episodes to me. Some people really dug it. There was a creepy voice throughout it, but I just thought it was a bit comical and unnecessary. But I watched all of that. I've watched all of The Jury as well. So there's a show on Channel 4 at the moment where they're replicating a murder trial to see how a jury system works. Now, I can tell you I've served on a jury. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm not going to tell you what case. I'm not going to tell you where. I'm not going to tell you what it was about. But I have served on a jury. And what you are seeing on the Channel 4 show is pretty bang on. It's pretty bang on. You'd like to think that it's intelligent people sat around a table having an intelligent conversation. That wasn't my experience. My experience was a lot of people shouting at each other and a bunch of people that didn't really pay much attention to what was going on. There was a lot of preconceived ideas, which I thought was completely wrong. So there were people that took one look at the defendant and decided they were innocent or guilty. Like, you've not heard any details of the case. You've not heard, but you've already decided the guy's guilty. And it's that is sadly what happens on a jury. And it's raising the question, if you take two jurors and they sit on exactly the same case, will they both come to the same conclusion? The reality of it is, no, they don't. A lot of the time they don't. I mean, I won't spoil on what happens on this one, but a lot of the time that doesn't happen. If you try the same crime 3 or 4 times, you get different outcomes. Which is scary, really. And again, like I said, there's no IQ test done or kind of competency test done. It's literally, you're on the jury. And all it takes is one person with a very overbearing personality and a very strong opinion, and they can sway an entire jury. Scary, but worth watching. So it's on Channel 4 at the moment. You can watch all 4 episodes of that on 4 on demand. So they will go into the case, the defense, the prosecution, and the verdict, and it's worth your time because you get to see, as I said, exactly how it happens. If you always wondered how a jury service actually runs, you can see exactly how it is, and it is interesting. As I said, loads coming up on the channel. I do have the final mystery build as well. You're never going to guess what the final mystery build is. You're just not, because it's not. There's nothing. It doesn't link to anything. Whereas the other ones are all linked to kind of a pop culture franchise. This one doesn't. This one is a completely standalone thing. It links to nothing at all. But if it works, and I really hope it works, it'll be great for making models. It'll be great to have this little thing that's actually practical. So I'm looking forward to that. The one I wanted to build for the longest time, I don't know if you've ever seen it, it was by, I want to say Wood Trick. I think it's Wood Trick. And it was a little, it was a robot bin. And you could get the powered one and you could get the manual one. I wanted the powered one where you could throw stuff on it and he just threw it in his mouth. This is a picture of it. I always liked that because it just seemed practical. If I had one sat here, I could just throw these little, screw bags and whatnot at it, and he just, boom, and he just throws his head back and eats them. I always kind of wanted one of those. I just never got round to it. I think I will. Again, it's one of those ones, I have this massive list of, I'd like that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. And I never get round to it because something else comes in and jumps over it, and it's like, it happens, That's about all from me. As I said, loads coming up on the channel. Thank you for all of your support so far. Thank you for are you okay? I'm fine, honestly, I'm absolutely fine. I'm sorry, I'll be a little bit more peppy and upbeat, but I'm so tired. Thank you for stopping by. We will be back, as I said, back tomorrow with more videos. I can't tell you what's coming out and when, off the top of my head. I can tell you there's an absolute ton of Disney. This weekend is all that's going up this weekend is just lots and lots and lots of Disney. And then I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm right back where I need to be because I want to get back on track. Because we're so close to the end of the bloody thing. To fall behind now is nuts, but I'm built up to date. I just haven't edited bloody videos because there's so many of them. But that is all from me. In a world where you can be anything at all, just be nice. You can contact us at buildingtheboys@outlook.com. I will get back to you. It won't be immediate, but I will get back to you, I promise. Or you can drop a comment down below and I will answer anything I can. That's all from me. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you very, very soon for more from Building the Boy. Bye-bye.